Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, welcome back to another episode of Old School Runescape, where, certainly we've got quite the fearsome regular foes here. Indeed, I actually heard about these even way back in 2016 when they were first released, and the only time you came close to seeing them was when I was on here, I think, to Steel Dragons, a few times I did them here. You know, seeing the brutal blues and reds. Yeah, these foes were quite something. Like, they were up there supposedly with skeletal wyverns and that, and I don't know why I held off doing them for so long, but also, yeah, in case you're curious, yeah, this is going to be the first time you've seen that armor crossbow in action. Yeah, I tried this initially, first time I really got to play around with it a little bit was, I think it came back around during a one-off Elite Clue thing, where I just figured, alright, fuck, I'll give it a shot. I'm not sure, it doesn't seem to make much of a difference. I mean, the spec's certainly more useful, but I don't know, I'm going to have to wait long term to see, is it actually going to be much more useful? I mean, it's only got, what, 6 more tat, the one prayer, and obviously it's a thing to do Armado, so, I mean, sure, and that, but anywho, yeah, so, I suppose before we get into any of the news and that, yeah, let's talk a lot about these brutal black dragons, why don't we? Since obviously before these and the other ones came into existence, and that pretty much these were, how to say it, these were pretty much brought forward as a way of bringing the rest of the chromatic dragons in their brutal versions and that, because brutal greens weren't really, I don't think they were really covering money in that. Like the Barbarian Dungeon, it was more the Mithril dragons and their fabled Dragon Full Helms and that, so they got kind of overshadowed and that. So when Zaya came out, I guess they wanted to make a big deal out of, these powerful foes. Also, holy shit, these drops. Yeah, in case you're curious and that, obviously these have really good fucking drops. Also, this is probably why I'm alking these. And so, obviously this is probably the highlight of the Zaya dungeon, versus these kind of foes, which is why I'm particularly surprised, especially like today and that, I've seen almost nobody, whereas in the 2-3 hours I did it last night as a sort of practice, yeah, it was quite busy. Very few cases where it was just 3 people, it was usually 4, and that, with maybe just a little bits here and there for breaks and that, as you'll see later on in this video, and that what I do to bank and all, because it's not quite how I imagined it would be. But yeah, so essentially, yeah, I remember these brutal black dragons were most famed for their chances of the Dragon Full Helm alongside the Draconic Visage, yes. And apparently Jagex found this to be a bit too OP, so rather than nerfing the drops, he just basically got rid of the Dragon Full Helm and also gave it a Slayer requirement. I can't quite show it for the moment, but yeah, these things now require 77 Slayer to kill. Interestingly enough, the other 3 don't for some reason, but oh, this is another thing I'd like to show off as well, because I was wondering why my prayer would swear seems to increase slightly. I thought it was basically me killing it, giving a bit of prayer. It's not. Yeah, there's a thing where it's there where if you prayer, like Bury Bone, prayer gives you a bit of a prayer bonus. I think this varies and that, so that if it's just regular bone, it's 1, big bones are 2, and then if you get the dragon bones, it's a nice juicy 4, and it's very handy, you know, for dealing with brutal black dragons. Noting that obviously as far as weapons go, they're recommending the Dragonheart crossbow, or better yet, the twisted bow. Yeah, I do not have either of those, although I did have the Dragonheart crossbow, but we shan't go into that one any further and just deal with what we've got at the moment, which is armor crossbow, which it's serviceable. Serviceable indeed. Now, you may also notice here I'm using slightly different ammunition. It's not regular it's not the regular broadbolts I'm using here. No, this is actually a tougher version, and now it's pretty much amethyst tip broadbolts, which is actually quite strong. Like, I think the regular ones are 95. These are 115, and for comparison's sake, the diamond enhanced bolts are only 105. This is 10 stronger than that. So these can actually deal some really good fucking damage. You know, like incredibly good, in fact. Yes, certainly. This is quite the good Slayer monsters to fight indeed, and also as a way of getting I'd say this is probably good for getting ancient shards as well as the occasional totem piece in that if you're not wanting to bother with Slayer tasks and that, so that's certainly something. But I mean, yeah, as far as that's concerned, I've estimated this to be somewhere around 700k an hour, which is good. It could be a lot better, and unfortunately I won't get to like the really good. They say if you're like on top of everything, it's over 1 million an hour. I unfortunately cannot, even though I've got like the best stats like max range, max defense, max hit points, melee stats don't really matter. Maybe prayer could be a bit better, but that's something I'll be working over time. But yeah. Also, yeah, somebody else has joined. Just regular Dragon crossbow, which I used to have, and now I've got the upgraded armado. Yeah, that's the other thing, and obviously I've not quite got the best gear. I've still got the armored chase skirt, which I'm hoping to get, and big assing boots. But other than that, it's mostly pretty good, and that's so. Right, the actual news, and I'm going to be honest, there's just way too much to cover on what's happened after my brief holiday vacation in Vienna. Yes, lovely city that actually. It's quite a splendid time. Yeah, I know that. Enough about that. Yes, certainly. What to do as far as the topics to cover? Well, let's see here. I'll put the document. Oh yeah, this is something I just forgot to mention. This was I think good 2-3 months ago. Yeah, the topic of hardcore Ironman death bugs. Yeah, there's been a few that's really intriguing. Like, I'll mention the first one here. The first one was Tis Talk Jad, where basically some hardcore Ironman died, got hit by some right the same tick as he was being transferred over, I think, killed Jad, and basically got hit, same tick, killed him, and then he died outside, and then that caused his hardcore just gone. And that was shit. It's not like the case of, there's an unusual mechanic where if you die by the healers right as you kill Jad, but in between that little waiting time, and then it's a bit different because I think they train away where, you got to cool for it, but you didn't actually survive, you just died right at the very end, and that, so it's a bit different in that regards. But yeah, certainly that was fun. And also, another fun one. Yes, good old Elvarg, and final boss of the first Dragon Slayer. Yeah, that was something bizarre happened where going through the cave, like on the way back, and that. So say if you go down from the ladder, but then you do some other stuff, unlock the door, and then you come back that way going forward. Apparently, there's a rare chance where the Elvarg can just go crazy with his Dragon Fire at you multiple times, and normally not a problem for most people, but for hardcore Ironman, that instant death, and that happened to somebody, and yet again a sign of Jagex incompetency, shall we say. Yes, indeed. Also, another one, but these two are actually the opposite. These are, bugs where they should have lost their stats, but they didn't. This one was the Dad Troll. I think it's a Death. Was it? It's Death Plateau, but I can't remember the name of the quest. And that's that one basically a hardcore legitimately died, and that to I think one of the bosses there, and pretty much you would think that would be that pretty much game over. Just got to redo your hardcore Ironman again, but no, apparently not. They actually got a second chance, and what should have very well counted as a death apparently didn't. So that was very much interesting. Also, the same thing with a hardcore Ironman. I forget what. I think this was during either the Twisted Bow or the Max Million glitch, where somebody had actually died, and that as a hardcore Ironman right in that few minutes, and they got reset. But then they were brought back, so they got their status back. However, the high scores act as if they were dead, so they're in a very unique situation where they had a hardcore Ironman that was dead, but yet still alive. So it was very much fun. Oh man. But alright. Next one. Oh, juicy stuff here, yeah. You remember back a few weeks ago I mentioned something about how there was a most intriguing topic about how, the whole thing of forums and that, especially the official forums where moderators there had a sort of an agenda. They were very heavily disencouraging criticism and that, and that was a whole sort of fun topic itself. Well, this is one that's stirred up quite the nest indeed, the hive of Reddit, where essentially this guy, I think I actually tried adding, or guy/girl, I'm not 1% sure now, but yeah, basically this player mod who went by ex-player mod now, yeah, name of Thanks, and essentially he or she, made a comment about Jagex's piss poor account security, saying that it's pretty much unacceptable and that as far as today's standards, and essentially what resulted as a result of this was pretty much Jagex just wasn't having any of it, and they pretty much removed their player status. Now, the interesting thing about this was that some people were saying this is censorship because of the whole, it's criticism, so it's like, yeah. And then there's other half saying it's because they were aggressive with the language, like they can criticise, but, here's the thing. I feel like you're kind of, a double-edged sword where you're going to lose either way, where basically, if you're not being aggressive / basically really being passionate, actually, like, when you say something, it's something you give a shit, and you genuinely care, even if you have to be a bit emotional to show that, then you're pretty much asking to be removed from authority and just be discredited by Jagex for not being the ideal sort of player, just basically a way to put you down and that. The thing is though, if you're not being aggressive and you're emotional, then you're just more, it's easier just to kind of brush your sides or just say, it's not really like, you don't have the same impact. So pretty much there's a way of kind of controlling it one way or another, so they have a way of dealing with it, whether they're that kind or the emotional kind. It's very much a lot of bullshit, but that's Jagex for you, Sometimes they do good and other times they just really fuck up, but more on that later. But yeah, alright, so today, actually, this was written like a couple of weeks ago, but yeah, Forthest Dungeon. This is dungeon actually, ironically, here in Zaya itself, and indeed, lovely Zaya, where essentially this is a dungeon that I think was picked up by Mod West and that some time ago, but it was kind of been hanging around for a little while, and essentially this is the sort of revival of that, but I think it had a new mod Husky or something, not to be confused with another mod Husky which I believe was the dog, and that what's the breed, and it's not an Akita, it's I can't even remember the top of my head, but yeah, pretty much that. And essentially he decided to take on the challenge of pretty much reviving this project and giving Zaya a mid-tier dungeon where essentially people were like not really my level anymore, but maybe like 80, 100, or maybe 70, like someone that gives them a bit of a challenge, but it's not like, it's going to be brutally tough or just too easy, something that's worth their time. And essentially this dungeon tackles that, where I think the strongest is only red dragons, but it also has an interesting new boss, and I can't remember off the top of my head what it is. I don't know if people are speaking about it here. Where is it? I can't remember the top. I'm probably going to butcher the name. I think it's a Sacrahitis, I want to say, but I'm not certain. It's probably said differently, but yeah, Sacrahitis, the other spider boss now, yeah. When you talked about the spider boss, it was generally assumed you were talking about Veninatus and that. And, people just got what you were saying and that. However, that's no longer quite the case and that, because now there's two, and it's like, is it going to be the really dangerous Worldy one, or the not so dangerous, maybe kind of shit non-Worldy one in Zaya? So that's going to be pretty much an interesting one from here on out. I mean, as I say, I'll probably talk more about that one when we actually get to covering it. Don't think it'll be this bond. Probably I would say the next one where I'm actually intentionally going to go for a month's membership. So no bonds to be saved this time because of upcoming circumstances, which I think would make better just to get two bonds in 4 weeks and that done and that, but hey ho, hey ho, hey ho. Alright. So, what else to talk about? Let's see. Alright. So, let's see here. Alright. Yeah, this is a bit of a really fun one. Now, do you remember I spoke about a certain Alfie back with his hardcore item right at the very start of me being permuted, days after? Yeah, him. He who I believe is associated with Realm of Terror, you know, that infamous clan, that also, yeah, Mod Jed was a part of. Yeah, well, it turns out, yeah, he's kind of been banned, not from RuneScape, but actually from Twitch, where he does all this sort of streaming, you know, that's how he makes his money and that. I don't actually know what caused that. I don't know if it was maybe due to racist language or something else. I think probably the notorious N-word. Yes, Nigeria indeed, but without the A band. Oh boy. Yeah, so I can't really say much about this other than, I suppose, maybe it's justice and that, you know. I mean, I was never really keen on him, especially with some of the stuff he did outside. You know, like, yeah, I mean, I'd say maybe he's, no, I'd say maybe a bit worse than a friend who I always thought was mixed. I was always mixed on him, but I gotta say, at least it was entertaining, you know. Alfie, not really so much. He was just, well, a cunt, really. But, hey, well, a little bit more justice, even though he never really did him any wrongs in that. But, yeah, so, alright. Last week, I believe there was a big juicy blog on the skill that is warding. Yes, warding. Oh man, warding. The skill that is probably not set to pass, like, ever really. Yeah, I think it's primarily because, how could you even say it? It's pretty much down to the fact that people are dead set on not having skills because it's like none of them seem to fit the old school vibe. And that's an understandable premise. I mean, the warding is supposed to be like the skill that is to be the invention of old school RuneScape, you know, the gold item sync, that kind of thing. Also as a way of attributing sort of magic elements to take from crafting and magic skills, give that sort of a boost in itself. And people are split on, should it just be more added to magic or runecrafting or splitting, you know, rather than being its own skill. And I think it's going to be a tough one. I don't know if Jagex can actually put that out and actually have majority of people agree on it, you know, but yeah, that's probably not going to be most people's minds for the time being and that. Yeah, I suppose I'll quickly mention this one out of the way as well. Yeah, I've actually got the angler set. I actually decided when I was fishing to 83 and that from 81, I decided, you know what, fuck it, 82, got access to the minerals section, but you need the angler set in order to access it, so that was a bit problematic. So I thought, fuck it, I would just spend my time, you know, going for it. And it wasn't terribly long. I think it spent maybe about 5 to 6 hours and that. Like, it could have been a lot worse. Yeah, I think the first one I got, I mean, I wasn't keeping track, some numbers are probably a bit off, like, because each unique's 1 in 8 drop rate, but I think I got really lucky because the first one, the hat, I got that about 7 trips in. You know, this is the fishing trawler minigame, which I'll probably do a commentary on at some point, but I'll have to wait till after I'm done with the Trouble Brewing and that, since that's one I want to cover as well. The top, I got 6 Slayer and that on the 13, and really back to back, I got the boots. The next one, 14, and then went a good 8 without getting any, and finally I finished with the legs, and yeah, I think I got a bit lucky there. You know, but I mean, oh, lucky. Well, this week has been very fucking lucky, and you may be wondering what I'm referring to, but I'll talk about that in just a moment. And let's see. You know what? Actually, I'll finish with this skill, and fuck it. Yeah, if I can hurry up and get this kill. Yeah, finish off this brutal black dragon you can see a bit outside, and then, oh boy, so much to show off, and yet I'm lacking for time. Oh boy. Yeah, I had a video that I was planning to show off, but I don't even think I'll have the time for that. And I think it'll just pretty much have to be saved for the next video, which will be most likely my second go at Inferno. Now I've got the armor crossbow and that. Alright, let's see. Alright, Rune Thronax, height. Alright, so this is where I pretty much go to bank, and that essentially this is a Lova Cringe, and that, you know, this is a place I've been to before, and that outside maybe a couple of clues, and that. But yeah, this is actually the preferred way of doing it. Go here, pray, going down, get the bank, bang out stuff, and refill with potions, and you're good to go. Maybe a bit of food if you took a bunch of damage from accidental melee attacks and that. But yeah, so alright, I'll save the videos for next time because I won't have enough time to talk about the other things I want to talk about, which is very juicy stuff. So I won't say anything, but I'll just get straight to the point. Yep, Baby Mo, second Draconic Visage. Like, fuck this actual luck. I'll show you here, right? Also, this is, yeah, there we go. So, this essentially here is what I got as far as the elite clue was concerned. Yeah, I got this from Giant Mo and that, about I think 70-90 kills before the actual pet and that, and I was just like, fuck me. And oh dude, beautiful, beautiful. Oh, this is just fun good. But yeah, the Draconic Visage, just like, fuck off. You know, and before you start, I actually did remember to take the actual, yeah, 73. Actually, it was 71, and that because I got a couple more kills before I left, but my fucking god, 1 in 10,000 draw, and I got less than 100. Jeez, some might have been out to be really fucking pissed off with that, and I got lucky with the first one, Scale of Wyverns, about 1600. So I was like, yeah, that was just unreal luck. Unfucking real, and it's just crazy stuff, bloody hell. Man. But yeah, real happy I've got this Baby Mo as my third pet. Actually rarer than the Zora, surprisingly. I think there's only about 6,500 to 7,000 giant moles, whereas some like well over 30,000 pet snakelings. So yeah, you could say I've got a rarer pet now, even though it doesn't look quite as cool as a snakeling, but alas. Yeah, so I reckon that should be that. Now you've seen the brutal black dragons in action, and certainly I'm thinking they're pretty good on that. Certainly better than Gargoyles, but I don't quite know where to rank them on that. You know, I'd say for now, brutal black dragons are on par with Scale of Wyverns, but yeah, not bad. Good way of getting ancient shards and the totem pieces for skulls on off. So yeah, that should be it. I reckon next time we'll see you in this Fennel Cave, and hopefully we make a fuck ton more progress now that I've got at least a bit of an idea how to progress on that front. But yeah, till then folks, till then.